All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. So, today we are reading from Bhagavad Gita. Everyone knows Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? Huh?
Yes.
Yes? What does it mean, Bhagavad Gita?
It's Bhagavad Gita, just we know that God Himself gave a direction
To humanity. Very nice. The song of God.
Yeah, Geet means song.
The song of God comes straight, directly from God Himself. That instruct His most dear friend and devotee, Arjuna. And Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, come to us here in the West to give possibility to everyone to read Bhagavad Gita, to study Bhagavad Gita. And today we are reading from the fourth chapter, Transcendental Knowledge, text number 34. This is a very special verse, very, very important. Every verse from Bhagavad Gita are special, but some verses somehow or other are more important or very important. And this is one. This is, I will read first and then I try to explain why it's so important. And if you like, we can read it together. If you like, we can read it together. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So I will read one line. Or we read word by word also. Hi Kamala, we read word by word here or no? What we do?
Line by line, but
After we will read. Yeah, we go fast. Yes. We don't have so much time because at this time the belly start to make some noise. I will read one line. Everyone please try to repeat after me. Tat vidhi panipatena. Tat vidhi panipatena. Pariparshnena sevaya. Pariparshneva sevaya. Upadekshanti te jnanam. Upadekshanti te jnanam. Jnaninas tattvadarshina. Jnaninas tattvadarshina. Now we read word by word and at least we know what does it mean. That, please everyone, that knowledge of different sacrifices.
The knowledge of different sacrifices.
Vidhi. Try to understand. Pranipattina. By approaching a spiritual master. Pariprashnena. By submissive inquirings. Sevaya. By rendering service. Upadekshanti. They will initiate
They will initiate
te,
te,
you,
you,
jnanam.
jnanam,
What means jnanam?
Knowledge.
Into knowledge.
into knowledge.
Jnanam,
Jnanam,
the self-realized.
self-realized.
Tattva.
Tattva.
What means tattva?
We know there are 5 tattvas.
Tattva means truth. Of the truth. Darshina,
Darshana,
seers.
seers.
Translation and purport by His Divine Srila Prabhupada. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. This is Krishna that speak to Arjuna. As we know, Arjuna is asking many questions. On behalf of whom? On behalf of all of us. From the past, from the present, and for the future. So purport by Srila Prabhupada. The path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. The Lord therefore advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession from the Lord Himself. No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following the principle of disciplic succession. The Lord is the original spiritual master, and a person in this disciplic succession can convey the message of the Lord as it is to his disciple. No one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process, as is the fashion of the foolish pretenders. The Bhagavatam 6.3.19 says, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. The path of religion is directly enunciated by the Lord. Therefore, mental speculation or dry arguments cannot help lead one to the right path. Nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, and one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant, without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Inquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. One must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master, and when he sees the genuine desire of his disciples, he automatically blessed the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. In this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. Not only should one hear submissively from the spiritual master, but one must also get a clear understanding from him in submission and service and inquiries. A bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind towards the disciple. Therefore, when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries becomes perfect. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So here is mentioned one of the most important points. If we want really to understand the transcendental knowledge, already I'm seeing, because you are here today with such a beautiful day. We can be somewhere else, as we mentioned before, but you decide to come here. By doing these activities, you already get a very good blessing, a very good mercy. By doing this, you do what? You do a yagya. What does it mean, yagya? Yagya means sacrifice, literally, but yagya means to make an activity, an auspicious activities, not only for us, but for everyone. No? This is sacrifice. To give up some benefit for us, not go under the sun, swim in the lake, here the sea is there far, or in the river, make a nice walk in the forest, eating an ice cream, or whatever. But no, you decide to come here. This already you get a lot of benefit by doing this. And this is what Srila Prabhupada speaks in this verse. Spiritual realization is start with. It's not easy to give up all sense, all activities for the self, for ourself. Now I don't speak about all this, but there are many. But to come here to do an activities for the benefit of the self, of the soul. And I'm sure if you get some good experience, you will be happy to share with someone else. That's why you share. You share. To understand this philosophy, to understand this verse, especially, already we have to give up something that for us is quite important. And what is this? The first step. What we should give up to approach a bona fide devotee, a bona fide spiritual master. First of all, we should give up, or that's to say, we should put a little down our ego. Because I am sure every one of us has his own idea how the world is going, how the world is working, what is the best we should do, and so on. But this is a sacrifice if we start to understand really, because our body is not 100% done for just enjoyment. If we just want to enjoy every day this artificial benefit, this is not good for the body. It's not good for the soul, especially. That's why we have to give up. And by submissing ourselves, in this verse there are four main point. The word tatvidi. Tatvidi means to sacrifice, to understand. First of all, we have to understand the reality. Why we have to suffer? Why we are always in critical situations? Sometimes maybe we have good situation, but mainly I believe that many of you have problems. If not you, the society have problem, and also the time we are living in they are getting more and more. There are people who like to give problem to us. Their work is to give problem to us. So first of all, we have to understand. Vidhi means to understand. By what? Panipatena, by approaching a spiritual master. Now here is with an approaching a spiritual master, but I'm sure if you are here, that means you already have met someone who give you the possibility to come here. I know many of you come from Bharatvarsha, and already is in your DNA this kind of searching, but many others maybe not. And they have to approach someone, they meet someone who give them this possibility. After we speak a little more about this one. And then pariprashnana, by submissive inquiring, by asking what we should do. Arjuna is asking Krishna, what shall I do? Submissive inquiries. And the last is sevaya. What means sevaya?
Service.
Service. Rendering service to this, who give us this possibility. Now there are so many stories about, but I'm sure as many of you have, we also have went through this. It all happened in a winter day, not like today. It was very cold, and we were inside a barn. We were milking a cow. And by all at once, while we were milking the cow, we were collecting the milk, and the door opened. And an angel came in. I'm saying an angel because this was my first seeing a devotee. He was completely shaved, he had tilak, no beard, and a chadar, wool chadar. And although we were in the barn, it was night, very light, the light was very soft, no? And he came in and he was bright, like the sun. And this is what gives us the possibility to meet such personality. Here we are speaking about spiritual master, but I'm sure any one of you may meet some devotee, or there are so many now possibility online to have some to hear something, or you may being yesterday in Frankfurt, and in Frankfurt yesterday there was Ratha Yatra, and the devotee people here, the holy name, even those who never heard about Krishna's name, or the holy name, or never seen before, maybe they were not there, maybe they were 1 kilometer, by 1 kilometer they hear the name of Krishna, the chanting the mantra, and they immediately get some attraction. This is all possibility that we get, Once we were in Trier, we did also Ratha Yatra in Trier. And then we come a little late, and we were a little parking, difficult to find a park, and we were parking little out of the center, and then we were going. And now we were thinking, the Ratha Yatra is walking, moving all the time. Where are the devotees? Where are the devotees? And then when we were thinking like that and walking, all the sudden we said, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And now we start walking to the mantra, to the holy name. And we found the devotees. So we have so many possibilities. So many possibilities are given to us. and we should take advantage of it, advantage of this. And this is what many I want to tell you. It is written about spiritual master. Maybe for someone in the beginning, we need to find someone who gives this in light, okay? And then one thing I want to speak about, in our time, my time, when we start practicing Krishna consciousness, about quite some time ago, it was different time. We don't want to say, okay, now you give up everything and become full-time devotee. If you like, you can do it. But for 99.9% of us, this is very difficult. That's why Prabhupada said the path to spiritual realization is very difficult. At that time, we had different mood, idea. I don't know if someone of you remember. I'm speaking about 40 years ago. Still, we were in the end of the EP time, but EP time was quite different. And people were more easy to change, things. And we know, I can tell you many stories, devotee who had everything, they had a very good job, companies, and so on. They were ready to give up all this to join. We were to India the first time, and after 2 months traveling in India, we joined in Krishna Balaram Mandir. And we brought back, we don't come anymore for working. You can sell the company, you can do whatever you like. That time we were able to do that. And many, I know, many, not only in this way. I saw in the temple in Vrindavan, in Krishna Balaram Mandir, there was one devotee coming from, I think Nepal, he was from Nepal. He was really, really lost. Other way around, he was completely dirty, long beard, smelling not so good, and walking like that, not straight, and so on. In 1 month, he was a complete person, complete changed person, very, very different, and so on. Now, in our time, it's more difficult to do that. And I believe, and we should not do that like that, And sometimes also, I'm thinking about my choice at that time, where maybe if I will be doing again, I will not do again such things. Now we have to approach spiritual master through the Shastra, to the knowledge, to the whatever possibility we have, and we should not say, if we want, we can do it. It's not that I am saying you should not do. You can do it, give up everything. But it's more intelligent if we have a family, our responsibility is to keep a family, to have a family, but to change our daily life, and putting Krishna in the center. To keep our activity by doing activities not only for our benefit, but for the benefit to offer them to Krishna and to share. This is a very important point, to share with everyone. Our activity to share with everyone. Now, there are so many verses that give more input to this one, like the verse that I was saying before. This is a very, very important verse too. Om Jnanati Mirandasya. This verse is very, very nice. Something similar to this one. And translation of this Om Jnanati Mirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. This is the right way of coming. If you are here, I'm sure you are interested in spiritual life, and you should take it seriously. This is one of the most important way to counteract all the material miseries. Another verse that I want to read you, then I stop, time goes fast. is a verse as my main service here. I am acting as a priest. I'm serving on the deity, on the altar, serving the deity every day. And every day, when we have to enter the deity room, that door there, we have to go inside, we have to make purification, because every day, our mind, our senses get contaminated. We need purification. And to go, we do achman. You know what means achman? Purification. Okay? We chant different mantras. And the end of this mantra, we chant this mantra. That's also very much connected. Which one? Paramam padam sada pashyanti suraya divi vatakshi atatang tat vipraso vipanyavo jagrivam saha samindate vishuryat paramam padam. What does it mean? I wrote down.
A sadhu should always talk about Krishna like this, and show the people that he's always there, he's always with us. Not really, huh?
Not really, but something like that. Just as those with ordinary vision see the sun's rays in the sky. Now you can see very well the sun today. Again, just as those with ordinary vision see the sun's rays in the sky, so the wise and learned devotees always see the supreme abode of Lord Krishna, Vishnu. Because those highly praiseworthy and spiritually awake Brahmana can see the abode. They can see the abode. Sorry, mistake. Because those highly praiseworthy and spiritually awake Brahmana can see that abode, they can also reveal it to others. Did you get my point? Everyone? Yeah? Yeah?
Almost like this verse.
Huh?
Almost like this verse.
The meaning is that almost the same, yes. The point is that we should really approach and have the understanding that without it's very difficult to practice spiritual life. We should really try to approach a spiritualized devotee, someone who already practiced Krishna consciousness, to get the opportunity to understand the reality of life. I read the verse again because it's very beautiful. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. So we have 5 minutes. If someone has some comment or some question about.
Yes, I have a comment because of the last verse. So a sadhu has to act that the people see that he is connected to Krishna, like this. This is the meaning of this shloka. Yes, like you see the sun rays and you are connected with the sun, but a sadhu has to act that you remind him to be connected, and you are also connected because you see him. That's the sense. The same is when you approach a spiritual master, you should be aware that he is connected. He sees the truth. He has knowledge about Shastra, and he has knowledge about to live a life in service of Krishna. This is what we talk about the truth. When we talk about the truth, we don't mean, oh my car, how much is it? 20,000 or 30,000. This is not what we understand the truth. So don't come into the wrong scene or the wrong side. So the truth should be that we understand the meaning of what we want to tell you about truth. We want to tell you you are connected because you see someone who is connected. You have to ask questions to him to get also connected. Only through this worshipping part you can be connected. That's the thing.
Thank you. Something else? Okay. You're okay? Yeah? This is from Luxembourg you're coming? Yeah?
Luxembourg HR.
What else? Hare Krishna. You understand English? You understand English? Yeah. Yes? Hare Krishna. You understood what I said?
The most.
The most. Yes. Well, one can say also so many stories, a few minutes more. Few minutes more, yes. You know, this, as I mentioned, you know, this, I give up drastically. But they say what I'm saying this also because one devotee who give me this possibility to understand transcendental knowledge, he was telling me this. Now we are in a different time. This we have to understand. To approach transcendental knowledge doesn't mean to give up everything. That means that we have to understand that what we have can be used, whatever we have. We have money, we have, you know, like you mentioned the car, we had the car, and the car today was bringing us here. That means that we wanted. We use the car for service. We use the car to understand. And this is the point. Whatever we have to learn in our daily life how to give to Krishna first. And Krishna will be happy and then will give us more that we can share also with others and many times with those who don't have this possibility. This is what I really want to give you today, that you can bring home this meditation. If we get something good, our best way of acting when we get something good is to share with someone. If we get something good, you know, if you know we get a nice necklace or a nice watch, if we don't share, we don't show someone, we don't get so much benefit. What is the use? Just to keep it there, you know, locked or whatever. Yes, when we get something precious, we like to show. This is normal. This is human. We are human, and this is what we have to do. Do you follow? Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, the kitchen is a little bit late, so you can tell one or two more stories.
The kitchen is late.
Yeah, they need a little bit more time.
Hare Krishna.
So if anybody has any more questions, then there's more time.
I would like to hear more about those times where you was in Vrindavan and how was it to just renounce everything like that? And why do you think is it not proper?
I didn't say it's not proper.
You said that you think this is not the best way to approach spiritual life.
No. I didn't say that. As I said, that time there was a different mood, different connection. But for my case, you know, on my case, somehow or other, as I mentioned, you know, material things, if you see deeply, even those who has everything, if you go deep to these persons, they are not happy. They are not happy. Okay? And I was coming from a background, you know, in my time, young people, okay, maybe I don't want to say everyone, but many of them, they were just in illusion. What does it mean? That they were in intoxication, in drinking alcohol, you know, discotheques and whatever, you know what I mean, this life. And on my nature was not that. I had to do because everyone was doing. If I was not doing, then, you know, I was alone, lost. Okay? But in the same time, even if I have to follow them, I was lost in the same time, completely lost. By doing, you know, I was getting intoxicated, drinking alcohol, going to discotheque, whatever, you know, going to the bar every day, you know, play cards and whatever, you know. This was my life. Going to work 5 days a week and coming back and do that. And this, my life didn't make any sense until that night when I meet this devotee first time. This changed my connection, my understanding. And this is what brought me to India, because then, after that, first I went to Villa Vrindavan, is a bigger temple in Italy. And then from there, I went to India. And when I became in India, the first 3 days I was in Delhi, where I met some other Italian friends I had. And then, we were together traveling. I went in India in Vrindavan the first time. After Delhi, I was to Mathura, Vrindavan. Then I was traveling many places in India, 2 months. And then somehow or other, I didn't know what to do. I had 1 more month's visa. Actually, I told my father, I stay 1 month. But then I had 3 months, and then I was already 3 months. And then, so after that, after 2 months traveling north, east, and west, I went down and said, what shall I do now? What shall I do now? Okay, I go back to Vrindavan, because this was the place where most, I was a few days before in the beginning, but not really connected. Then when I went in Mathura, this happened. This was the thing that what changed the situation. The first time I went to Mathura, I went in a guest house, a room I got, and it was very nice experience. But the second time I went there, I don't know why. I was in the same place, it said no room. I was in another place, said no room. Another place, I don't know, something was wrong. I could not find a place. It was getting late, getting dark. And then some other, I was walking to the bus station. And at that time in India, the bus driver would say, Vrindavan, Vrindavan, Vrindavan. When the bus goes somewhere, Mathura, 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 Vrindavan, Vrindavan, Vrindavan. I said, okay, I took a bus to Vrindavan. And when I went down in Vrindavan, a rickshaw came to me and said, American Mandir? You know what is American Mandir? Krishna Balaram Mandir. And I said, okay, bring me there. It was already night, very dark. And the day after, I was the night in the guest house in Krishna Balaram Mandir, and I smoked the last bidi. And when I was smoking this last bidi, for me it was like poison. I tasted so that last, I said, no more. And day after in the morning, I went in the temple, and there was a devotee from Bolivia at that time. And in Bolivia they speak a kind of Spanish, very, very similar to Italian. My English that time was very useless. I didn't know any English. I learned a few tola tola, dhanyabad, kitna hai, few words in Hindi in these 2 months, but no English, no? And then he was speaking, he was the Bhakta leader. That's why I approached him, and somehow the Krishna arranged that. He speak more, then he was somehow speaking in more Italian, and we went, there was a room, when you go inside the Krishna Balaram Mandir in the right side, there was a room for approaching newcomers, And I went inside, it was 2 o'clock, noontime, and I went out at 7 o'clock, 5 hours, and he told me everything. I was not alone, there was another Italian boy and a few others. And these 5 hours were so intense that after 5 hours there, my mind was blowing, I'm coming from intoxication, and then all these things would come inside my mind, In the meantime, when I was there inside, by the way, there was coming a big storm. This was May. This year was 40 years ago. It was May. Big storm, monsoon in India, now it's monsoon time in Vrindavan too. 5 minutes, if you know the the courtyard in Krishna Balaram Mandir is so deep. 5 minutes was full of water, more than half meter, full of water. In the street you could see big trees flying and so on. all these things happened in that day, you know, that was really, and day after I was in the ashram. I am still here. Thank you very much. Now it should be a kirtan also, no? Isn't it? Offering a candle, everyone can offer a dip.
How late is the
I don't know.
Because I would like to ask you, what
You
do
can
you
ask.
think changed in the mindset of the people? You know, like it sounds like you have everything, but we're not satisfied. And people nowadays, they have everything, but they don't look for a spiritual life. You know, they are not satisfied, but they don't look for something higher.
What can I say? I told you at that time I had everything. If I want to buy a car, I could buy tomorrow. If I want, you know, I brought a house, not big house, but small house in the mountain. But I didn't like to this. I didn't want to stay there already before becoming this experience to meet this devotee. This devotee I meet, you know, in a forest. I brought a house in the forest, and I like it so much. In my cases, I like so much, you know, all this noise, all this sound, all this for me was not good, you know. And then I brought these places in the on the hills, and there I was alone. In the weekend, I will go there, working during the week. In the weekend, I will go there all alone. I had no electricity, no running water, nothing, just fire to cook something, and you know. And I was there all alone. Hmm? And then I come to know these other people that knows the devotees, and then I meet this devotee. This after a few months. But in my case, really, I had enough. I had enough of this life without nothing. You know, for me, it was really empty. I feel I need something. I am coming from Christian family. My mother was really a Vaishnavi, a very devotee, very dedicated. She will go to the church every week and following all the temple program and so on. And for me, this life, you know, like sometime when I go in the town, I remember all this. That's why I am here also, because I like forest. I like more seclusion. I don't like crowd. I don't like. This was I was searching something more connected to the. Do you follow?
But still, I feel like that this is more very few people nowadays feel like that. No?
I know. People are searching to get more. To get more. They want more.
But it is in a way it's ironic, you know, because they are getting more and more. It doesn't make them happy, and instead of realizing, oh, this is maybe not the thing that can make me happy, they still want more and more.
That's why I'm saying that's good. Take more, but give to Krishna. That's the point. They accumulate. They are not happy because there is no connection between the self and the absolute. Only material that doesn't last. Everything material start and ends. Spiritual start and never ends. That's the point. And this is the real satisfaction. When you touch spirituality, that means the fire is on and never turn off. You don't need to buy benzene, you don't need to buy gasoline, you don't need to buy diesel, whatever is on forever. You understand? That's the point. You have money, share with others, give to Krishna, use in the service of Krishna. This is what. To understand this, we must approach a bona fide spiritual master, a devotee. Thank you very much. Sorry. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Vasudeva Prabhu ki jai.